Number 4.
Seattle just added a deep threat from the Saints. That win over Washington looked like Ohio State and Youngstown State. That was a physical, athletic mismatch. 4-0 on the road, won their last 10 road games. Sam Darnold, advanced metrics, he's the best quarterback in the league this year. I'm not joking. PFF has him number 1, too. Their defense is young and getting better. 3 straight games holding people under 20. They are young, but they have an identity. Green Bay's young and doesn't have an identity. I like Seattle and Darnold at 4.
Colin Cowherd just realizing how great the Seattle Seahawks are, as he's talked about how great the Seattle Seahawks are, but then randomly was like, nah, never mind. He'd been such a Sam Darnold believer and was like believing at the Seahawks, which is why it threw me off so much when he was just like, I don't think the Seahawks go in as, they're not real contenders. I showed you the clips and I made the videos, and now he's like, this team is actually really good. And it's like, yeah, that's you. You can't swing every single week, You got to let things play out, when you're having sports takes. You can't swing week to week to week. And you also can't be too firm either, right? You can't just ignore what you see either. It's got to be kind of a little bit of a bend, don't break type situation here. Which is why it's funny, because I did the whole top 10 herd hierarchy, so check out that video. Them beating the Commanders as much as they did, it didn't really move the needle as much for me, because the Commanders are, that banged up and are just not a good team right now. Which I always thought it was crazy that Colin was like, the Seahawks are going to struggle because they have to fly across the country. And I was just like, what are we actually really talking about here? Obviously what was incredibly impressive was just Sam Darnold's individual play, because it was, 17 straight completions and the types of throws that he was making and whatnot. He made it easy for everyone, for Jackson Smith and Jigba, Horton, et cetera. But I think maybe what I could be most impressive about that game was how connected the coaching and the team was. There was never a disconnect. Everybody was on the same page, which is important to be able to do when you are flying cross country and you are on the road and you are going up on Monday night football, Sunday night football. I hear that. That's totally fair, especially for like a younger team or a team that hasn't been together, a new quarterback. Sam Darnold's been the quarterback for 8 games, right? But this team is clearly connected, clearly a family already, and clearly united with McDonald and Clint Kubak for that matter. So it's awesome to see. And shout out to the continued support, baby. Like, I'm so fired up. I'm so pumped up with the Seattle Seahawks, man. You guys really do keep showing up. Like, I'm so happy that I just was like, I want to make Seahawks videos. No one's watching them. I got to just ask the Seahawks fans to just watch the videos. Like, I was like, whatever it was, I was just like so fired up. I was so angry. And I was like, Seahawks, I want to make Seahawks videos, but not enough people watch them. And like I always say, it's not about chasing views. It's about like creating content that people want to watch and, have conversations about. If it was just about the views, I would just keep making Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Eagles videos. And you guys now consistently show up. You consistently subscribe when watching the video. I mean, we've added thousands and thousands and thousands of Seattle Seahawks subscribers. The views are always great now. The conversations are always flowing. Like, I feel like we actually got a Seahawks family brewing right now in the comment section. And it's awesome to see. I mean, honestly, it's just so awesome to see it come from literally nothing, like literally non-existent. And the two fan bases right now, Seahawks and the Patriots, they were non-existent and now they are. And it's just awesome to see. So, thank you so much. Please keep watching the full lengths of the video. Please don't stop subscribing so we can continue to grow and so I can keep making Seahawks content that is just, the best Seahawk content that I can, and something that is firmly rooted in this sports talk world. Because it's so funny to go from unranked to top 4 now, right? Top 4. He's got ahead of the Chiefs. The Seahawks are ahead of the Chiefs right now. Like, that's what I'm trying to say here. let me get the full top 10. That's what I'm trying to say. And my point is that the Chiefs losing to the Bills and the Seahawks beating the Commanders does not make the Chiefs go from 1st to 6th and the Seahawks to like 11th to 4. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. That's not how my mind works. It's just not. And this is coming from someone who obviously believes in the Seahawks, who believes in every single thing they're doing. I love the trade acquisition as well. They're making moves. Nothing too desperate, nothing too aggressive where you're really kind of hurting yourselves moving forward. Like, it was just a good, balanced, fascinating move that I'm interested to see Sam and Clinton Kuback and what this also opens up with Jackson Smith injury. It also gives you a little bit more resiliency from an injury perspective as well. Add a little bit of depth. You know, so just all great stuff all around. But, you know, this has been my default take, especially this season, that we just have some teams right now where it's really on both sides of this coin, actually. Where you're either like, listen, this team's unbelievable, like the Seahawks or even the Patriots. Drake May is playing great. And your only hesitation is, well, who's Drake May, right? He's a young quarterback. And Sam Darnold, he's a pumpkin. And the Seahawks and Clint Kuback and McDonald, like, you know, like there's no like established resume of greatness with this immediate team. Obviously not the Seahawks in general, but just this immediate team right now. And you have more established greatness, obviously with the Eagles, obviously with the Chiefs, the Rams as well, the Bills. And so like you're just more comfortable with those teams, and it makes sense. You're more You've seen the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. You've seen the Chiefs. We've seen the Chiefs and Eagles by multiple Super Bowls within the last 3 years, right? Like, so we know that the Eagles can get it done. We know the Chiefs can get it done. We know Matthew Stafford and the Rams can get it done. We know that to our core because we've seen it many times. We've not seen the Seattle Seahawks do that with any quarterback recently. And especially with Sam Darnold. Same thing with the Patriots and whatnot. And if you do move beyond that, like you would have to just say that the Seahawks have been playing out of their mind. And if the Seahawks were the Eagles or the Bills or the Rams right now, like I think the Seahawks, Colin, would be so much more comfortable putting them at number 1. You know, I really do. If Sam Darnold was Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, we would all be saying he's the MVP. Oh my gosh, look what he's doing. He's been the best quarterback, yada yada. But it's not right. Like, we're not actually having that conversation because we have this like narrow lens of you know, of a Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks, and you know, Drake May is suffering that consequence a little bit for a different reason, just because of youth and whatnot. And it's been fascinating to see. And on the flip side, and I'm you know, I'm doing this too with the Kansas City Chiefs, where it's like the Chiefs lose to the Bills and they lost to the Jags and whatnot. And I'm still like, I still think the Chiefs are an elite team. I still think the Chiefs are a great team. I still got them, you know, top 5 I still got in top 5. I don't even want to say, because I still have them as a true top tier team in the NFL. Like, I'm not moving off that. You know, yes, the Bills beat the Chiefs and the Bills were in control of that game the entire time. If the Bills play the Chiefs again, if we got the exact same outcome where it just felt like the Bills were in control of that entire game, I would be quite surprised by that, honestly. I would find that hard to believe. So it's just like, you know, when you do have teams with such established greatness and continuity, it's just hard to ever count them out. It's hard to ever feel that they're not going to be there when it matters most. And that is what the Seahawks are going to be in the process of proving. And just because they haven't done it before doesn't mean they can't. In 22, the Philadelphia Eagles had no established greatness with any coaches, any quarterback play, any of the pieces. You know, you had Jason Kelsey, the center for the Eagles. You had Brandon Graham, you had Cox, you had Lane Johns. You had some players that are obviously important, but not the receivers, not the running backs, not the quarterbacks, not the guys who you need to truly elevate. No coaching staff. Sirianni, Shane Sen had some success with Justin Herbert, but like not this established greatness. The defensive coordinator was a young defensive coordinator. Like you didn't know who they were. The only thing that you knew was, hey, how Roseman can build good teams. It's pretty crazy how competitive they are. They had won a Super Bowl 5 years prior to that. Pretty remarkable how great they are right now with like a new roster, new coaching staff. So you had trust in the franchise in terms of like a recent history, but like no one was able to really with confidence say how Jalen Hurts was going to play in a Super Bowl. No one could say with confidence how AJ, Devontae, and whatnot, how were they going to play when it mattered most. You just didn't know. And so that very much well could be where the Seattle Seahawks are right now. So I understand the skepticism. I understand patience. And that's why I always talk about being skeptical makes total sense. Absolutely. Positively makes sense. Doubt. There's such a fine line between skepticism and doubt. And that's so often what I push back when we're talking about some of these teams, like the Seahawks, like the Patriots, like even the Colts. Right now, because of their also unique situation with Daniel Jones, it's like I get the skepticism of how will the Seahawks play in these big games? How will they play, against the Eagles, the Rams, like in the playoffs, and how will Drake May play in his first playoff game? Like I get the skepticism. Skepticism is healthy. It makes sense. I always look at things through a skeptical lens and try my best to get to the reality, but it too often slips into doubt. I doubt the Seahawks will be great in general. I doubt Sam Darnold will be able to win a playoff game on the road. I doubt, and it's just like I emphatically disagree with. But that's my ode to Seattle. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Sam Darnold on these Seattle Seahawks balling top 4? Top 4 according to Colin? When just last week he had them not even in the top 10. Now they're top 4. They're ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs, who were the number 1 team for weeks now, and Colin said that they were a touchdown better than any other team right now. Now the Seattle Seahawks are 4, and Sam Darnold is the advanced analytics say he's the best quarterback. The regular analytics show it too. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately let's just have some fun. And as I said, Seattle, you guys have been awesome, so please don't forget to keep subscribing and watching these videos. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it also really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.